Hey, Mark here, and I have a really fun giveaway for you today. I have 5 digital copies of Significant Other, the 2022 horror film that stars Micah Monroe and Jake Lacey. And I really like this movie. I think it has some cool ideas, some fun. I don't even want to say that because I'll spoil it, but it's just a good time, and I really think it's worth a watch. So if you'd like to potentially win a copy, just shoot me a message and say, hey, Mark, I would like to win a copy of Significant Other, please. So bring Significant Other home on digital media. Micah Monroe and Jake Lacey star in this twisted sci-fi thriller as a young couple on a remote hiking trip who sense they may not be alone. Significant Other is on digital now, rated R, from Paramount Pictures. You're going to like it. It's a fun film. Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is DJ the Boogeyman Valentine.
Baba Yaga. This is Wick's Picks. I like to call this segment or this show Wick's Pick. We gotta make it seem like very uplifting because this is a franchise we're talking about today that consists of several moments of gruesome, horrific murder and death. So we can't be like, very sorry. We gotta be like, hey!
Remember that time when Wick
killed a guy
slams
with
a pencil into the back of a guy's brainstem?
Somebody got their head cut off with a katana.
There's no name, but what the guy is called is like the sort of sumo assassin.
Yes.
He gets shot once dead in the head, right? Just like
Yep.
The gun is pointed down, and the gun bullet enters his brain. He then gets back up.
Was that the kill shot? I think that was the kill shot.
There's two of them. He gets up again after being. So I just had to analyze this movie frame by frame.
Okay.
And there's a really cool video coming out. You can check it out. It's probably going to be a few months, but I'll share it on MFF whenever it comes out. And so I brought you in because I just know so much about the franchise. I just want to talk about cool moments before it all leaves my brain.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about John Wick 4, so this is like a nice primer for prepping for Donnie Yen battling Keanu Reeves, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And he shoots him in the head.
Yep.
And then he goes, ugh, and he like puts his head back up, and he gets shot in the head again. Like that's not how you react to brain bullets.
Hey man, I just saw a movie called The Terrifier 2.
Oh gosh, oh don't get me started. Hi mom.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens with guns in that franchise.
Well, I don't even want to, I'll fall into just a depression when I talk about that movie. What a nasty, a very nasty but successful piece of work. The tone that it captures is very confident, but it is mean. I could do mean.
I don't know how that movie got made.
No.
Again, we're doing that for our 200th episode on the show I'm on, the 200 Simplistic Reviews podcast. It's 200. We're like, we were trying to decide which movie to do. We're like, let's do Terrifier 2. And I was like, well, I can't go into 2. And then we watched 1. And after 1, I was like, holy, what the what just washed over me? And then I watched a second. I'm like, how did they make this? How did they get people to star in this movie?
Well, that scene where the girl gets salted and vinegared and filleted, and then
mean. Like that. This is just mean.
And she's screaming, and then the mom comes in and she's still alive. It's
that's the sumo scene. That is the sumo scene.
And that poor sumo gets shot twice. I wish I had a better name, but like he gets shot twice in the head, brain bombed. So I brought you in.
Maybe he missed. Maybe he got lucky, or I guess John Wick got unlucky, and the sumo got real lucky where it just. Cause there's people who've been shot in the head and it doesn't kill them right away, or like they survive. Now for him to get up, I don't know about that part.
He's like, oh, and then plop again,
really
right?
Hard bones. He's an X-Man. Okay, we don't. They're crossing over universes to the X-Men universe.
And as far as violence goes, the violin assassin's the only one to put 2 bullets into Wick. Like Cassium shoots him 4 times. Daniel Bernhardt shoots him 4 times, like in the chest, but he has a vest on.
Right.
And I mean, I know Bernhardt does stab him in the side when and Cassian gets him in the leg with a stab, but the violin lady's the only person to plug him twice.
He's good.
Yeah.
She's good.
It's like boom, boom. And you're like, ooh, gosh. So I feel like you're kind of the resident action fan.
Yes,
I think you love action movies, right, DJ?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And so I was like, let's come in here and let's pick our 5 favorite moments from the John Wick trilogy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And this was tough. You immediately knew your 5 because I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure you have a list of every film in your top 5
In my brain, yes.
from all of them, and you can just rattle them off.
Correct.
So, actually, tell them where you're from real quick. Tell them about the podcast and let's promote your stuff before we get to the end of this episode.
I'm DJ Valentine. I'm from the Simplistic Reviews podcast. This is Mark Hoffmeyer. He's the only Hoff that I know that is around the beach with Pamela Anderson to talk to cars.
As far as you know.
As far as I know, I don't know where he's coming from today. He could have been right on the beach. He could be salty right now with the seawater. But yeah, we do the Simplistic Reviews podcast. We talk movies and TV and make jokes and do sketches. And Mark sometimes shows up and makes them a little bit better. And it's funny because we've done a lot of sketches. I was categorizing them on which movie have we made fun of the most, and I think Batman in all incarnations is number 1. I think Die Hard's number 2, but inexplicably, John Wick's 3, which I did not know. We've done John Wick sketches a lot. I guess it's by accident.
And if you listen, I played a super earnest Superman one time.
Your Superman was so good. I was because at first I was the voice of Superman. I think I'm in a sketch where I recorded before I got you to be Superman. I'm playing him kind of like not mean, but I guess I'm the Zack Snyder Superman. But you're like the Donner Superman. I was like, oh man, Mark got the Donner Superman perfect. He's all full of hope and vigor. I'm good. I murder people. I don't care where that truck goes on. I don't give a damn.
My dad got killed by a tornado because of you stupids.
Kevin Costner told me to let him die.
I'm like, hey guys, I'm Superman.
Follow him.
I killed Zod.
When I heard you're Superman, I'm like, this is what I want. I want this Superman.
Yay!
I'm almost tempted to re-record the sketch that I did already with you doing the Superman instead of me.
Let's do it. Hey, I'm always here to help you, man. And
I might give it to you because it's already pre-recorded and done. It's coming up in the next month or so. But I'm like, after I heard you did a sketch where you're talking to Black Adam, I'm like, yeah, this is Superman. This sounds like my Superman's kind of like Cavill Superman, but I want Reeves Superman.
Well, shucks. I thank you very much.
Well, Lois.
Well, hi, Lois. Your writing's very good today.
I miss Christopher Reeve Superman. That's Superman I want, man. I hope James Gunn is paying attention. It's like, look, he kind of talked about that, and I was like, I want some optimist. I mean, the guy on CW, Tyler.
Yeah, he's great. Everybody wants him. That's what I call him.
Yeah, everybody wants him. Yeah, he is the guy everyone wants him. And he's from Road to Perdition. But yeah, I like his Superman. I think he's trying to do as close as the Christopher Reeves, but he always has like a beard, and I'm like, no. You look like drunk Superman in whatchamacallit. Was that Quest for Peace or something?
How does he shave?
Every
time the
I
third
see
one. Doesn't the computer turn him into an evil thing? No, the magic crystals.
The magic crystals, right? Yeah.
And then he just becomes a jerk, like Spider-Man when he becomes a jerk.
Like Spider-Man as a jerk is like the good thing about Spider-Man as a jerk is he's still lame.
Yeah,
that's what makes Spider-Man as a jerk work.
People don't get that, do they? Like he's they good inherently
like,
that when he turns
cool?
evil,
like that's the point. He's still lame. That's the whole thing.
No one gets that. Like he's it's the evil version of a really nice dweeb.
Yeah, if a dork could be evil, this is what's and I don't really like Spider-Man 3, but that of course is the thing that lives on from that movie is evil Spider-Man, where he's just doing the dance and people are laughing at him like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
It's amazing. And I got the joke at least. Like I got it on that. So
I was so hoping for some kind of in No Way Home, some kind of reference to that, like he does a dance or something. I thought they were gonna go there. They touched on a lot of the memes, the pointing one and the I'm somewhat of a scientist myself meme, but they never did the Spider-Man dancing around, throw the hair back thing. That's what I was hoping for.
And like I know they touched on Spider-Verse, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But come on, No Way Home.
Come on, you've already made a perfect movie. Make it more perfecter.
And speaking of, actually, we haven't talked about Batman. So not speaking of Batman, we did a commentary for the Batman, so you can go back and listen to that.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good. You get to hear me essentially just going, yeah, the whole time.
There's a 30-minute segment where he just goes,
And then I cry.
Yeah.
And Mark had to talk to me. I was like, this is so beautiful, man.
And put yourself on mute. And then I just start warbling by myself.
Sorry. I literally, like, in tears. Like, when the Batmobile starts up, I think I break down for about 15 minutes. But yeah, go check out that commentary. If you like the Batman, you get to hear us wax poetic about it. Mark gives facts, and I just go, yeah, this is so cool.
Yeah. Just saying that. You're not helping me, TJ. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's good, man. It's good. What do you want me to say? It's great.
It's art. Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves, yeah.
It's good because it's art. Wait, what?
What?
Wait, that's Colin Farrell? No.
That's the whole commentary, guys. It's very informative. Trust me. Just trust me. Just put it up.
So, all right, let's get going. You get first pick. Tell me what.
I get first pick?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or what's your favorite moment, or one of your top 5 favorite moments from the John Wick franchise?
Here's the thing. Mark, before here's a little peek behind the curtain. Mark gave me his list, and the benefits of being old is when I looked at it, I was just looking to see if one of mine was on there, and I didn't see it. And now, after I did that look, I don't remember what you picked. So it's when you see me being surprised, it's not, you're like, didn't I send you the list? I don't remember. So I still know, all I know is that none of mine are on yours. And my number 5 pick, I'm going to go 5-1. And a lot of these picks are probably, when I picked through cleverness. John Wick the action's amazing, but some of the stuff in there is action, but clever action. And I'm going to start with number 5. I call it the horse kick kill. When people said I couldn't, like, when I was like, when Wick 3 was coming out, I was like, oh my God, John Wick. Yeah. So I was like getting hyped for it. I'm like, how many times are you going to watch John Wick kill people? How many times can he, what different can he, something different he can do? And I was like, man, I don't care, man. It's John Wick, whatever. But I have faith. And boy, was my faith rewarded when John Wick killed a man by slapping a horse on his ass. And that horse kicked a man in the head and killed him. And he didn't do this once. He did it like twice. It's so good.
It's like, guys, head movement, henchman. But you know what? I feel like when you're in a fight and you are one of the elite soldiers on the planet and you are hunting somebody, you never expect that they're going to slap a horse's butt and that horse is going to kick you in the face.
And you know, of all the great moments in 3, that was the one that got the biggest audible what like out of me, because usually I'm quiet in the movie, but when that happened, I was like, oh, what? Like, I was stunned. I did not see it coming. They don't lead into it. It's like, is John Wick gonna get on this horse, which he does eventually? But I did not see before I get on this horse. I'm gonna use his foot to kick you in the face. It's fantastic.
And turn a horse into a killer.
The horse is now a murder. John Wick manipulated a horse into murder. Think about that. Not just one murder, double murder.
It gets to the point in this movie where you're just like, guys and ladies, stop. Like, people, stop. Stop.
They want the money, Mark. They want the money.
Your entire group of henchmen are now murdered. Yeah. They are all dead. You are dead. Your sister's dead.
You are dead.
Like, everyone's dead. Just stop. Yes.
You are dead.
Wick is, you can get a lot of money from Wick and John's candle wick out. Oh gosh. But you can't. Like,
I think the movies have turned into and I really love the mutual respect thing where they're like, oh man, I get to kill John Wick. So it's like they're going after John Wick because if they get to kill him, it's like, Baba Yaga, I am now the best ever. If I get to kill the best ever, I become the best. I think that's why they keep going after him.
You know why? Because
you're right.
My money?
Like after he kills 10 people in front of me, I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna go this other way.
I'm like, those people died for fame and glory.
Yeah, it's prestige. It's the prestige. It's what it has to be. Because if you kill the best, if you take out Michael Jordan, you are now Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? You want to go for the best. And that's what you get from a lot of the newer one. I don't think they figured that out in the first one, but in the 2 and 3, I think they were getting, especially when he deals with the raid guys. I think it was more of, I got or the Casca. You know, was that a good fight, John? Oh, that was a good fight, John. Yeah. That whole thing. I think it's about, I got to take on the best, and if I kill him, I'm the best. And even if I die, hey, I fought the best. That's what it is.
That's crazy. If I'm a hitman, I'm Mark Headlock Hoffmeyer.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I
like
become
this
the
guy.
best?
It's great.
Because
Great.
all the henchmen die, all the hitmen die trying to kill the best. So then
Mhm.
it creates this massive gulf, like like there's
Now you're
of
gonna have
jobs that are needed.
old ladies in shopping carts with a battle axe just trying to be I guess I'm the only hitman left.
And then it's like I just start getting calls like, hey, you want this job? You want this job? You want this job? Like, yeah, I'll take this job. Like, I'll take
Filling the
that
power
job. And then I
vacuum. You're
start
filling the
farming out
hitman.
jobs.
You're
And then,
filling the hitman power vacuum, is what you're saying.
exactly. I fill it, and then I recruit, and then I start a rival hotel, not the Continental. I start the Planetary, and I rival them because I was the one who was smart enough not to try to kill John Wick.
I think you just laid out the plot for John Wick 5. I think you just did it. I think they listen to this podcast. I know I'm big friends with Keanu. I'm pretty sure he's gonna just. He's like, hey guys, I got a great idea.
Planetary. Mark Hitman Headlock Hoffmeyer.
And then Chad Stahelski or David Leitch or whichever one is doing it at the time. Sure, whatever. Do we get guns in this? We don't.
Yeah, let him write Bullet Train 2 while we're at it.
I don't think those guys care. I love them because they don't care. It's like, look, I'm just trying to make the greatest action set piece of all time. You want to put your little mythos in here, Keanu? Fine by me, whatever. As long as I get to shoot somebody, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna build a glass room and just go to town.
Whatever you want to do, man. I'm just trying to make art. I don't care about the script. What are you talking about?
Get every stuntman employed in the United States and Europe, all around the world.
I want every stuntman in the movie. Now, when I say that, you think I mean some of the stuntmen. I mean every stuntman.
Get them all, everyone.
Everyone.
When I was watching The Villainess, it's a wonderful South Korean action film. I'm pretty sure they hired every single South Korean stunt person for that movie.
I believe they don't have any chill over there.
Yeah,
they don't have it. They're like, look, we'll get into Donnie Yen later, but I've heard stories about Donnie Yen, how he would pay stuntmen to actually hit them. So they don't got chill over there, bro. They'll come at you.
Here's $20. Here's a gut shot. See you later.
I think there was a story they were telling, like he would pay, because stuntmen, they don't get paid over there unless I think they are, even if you're not, it's not just that you're on camera. I think you have to be hit or something. You can't just be in the background. You have to be involved. So he'd be like, I give you $600 or six whatever. It's probably more than that. It's probably $6,000 if I get to kick you for real in this one shot.
Oh.
So it can look the best. And they would take it because they would get the money he's giving them, and they would be on they would get their stuntman pay.
Oh, wow.
Which is like, you can't do that. Imagine doing that in America. The lawsuits.
I was watching The Protector today with Tony Jaa running up the stairs. I showed my students this, and it looks like he murders all of them. So that's why they're getting paid. It's a totally different country. They're different countries we're talking about here. We're talking about 3 different countries, but still, like, I watched Tony Jaa beat up stuntmen, and I'm like,
well, me and you both have seen action movies where we're like, that guy's dead for real, right? Like there's scenes in Fury Road where I'm like, did George Miller kill a guy? Like, that guy's dead. There's no way you can CGI what I just saw. That guy's dead.
And Kickboxer, when he kicks one of those dudes in the dance, before he dances, he kicks a guy. I'm pretty sure he killed him. DJ, that guy. He's brutalized.
And they've been doing it for decades. You think Jackie Chan hasn't really kicked a guy? I'm pretty sure he's kicked many.
And you see how many strikes he's taken?
Yeah, he stole off a castle and cracked the skull open. I can imagine he's doing it to stuntmen.
Oh gosh, just whomping on him.
Anyway, yes. So number 5 is my horse. I call it horse kick kill. So that's my number 5.
So I'm gonna work my way. I'm doing no order. I'm just gonna work my way from John Wick to John Wick 2 to John Wick 3. Or wait, cool. I'm sorry, John Wick to John Wick Chapter 2 to John Wick Chapter 3. Parabellum.
So if you want, you know the story behind the name Parabellum?
No. Oh yeah, I do. It's
the gun that's named. I think it's made by a person that came up with the phrase, "If you want peace, prepare for war," or something like that. It's some long explanation.
It's a lot though. John Wick Chapter 3. That's why I like the Scream movies. Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, 5 Cream, Scream 6.
5 Cream.
Yeah, just give me those. That's all I want. So mine is in the first John Wick, which is my favorite of the 3. I think the action is the most coherent. I think the action tells the best story. He's not whack-a-moling a lot of henchmen. And I'm going to say in the beginning scene when he comes into the red circle, and you have this really cool song played called Think On.
You have this really neat red light kind of going through here, and he's essentially stalking the guards of this club. So you have Alfie Allen in the hot tub. He's no, in the pool. He's not in the hot tub yet. They're just partying in there, and it's just Wick stalking him. You know, he walks through the club, and you have this really cool, chill song called "Think" by Kaleida on, and he just, he kills a guy, and the blood splatters on the glass. He stabs another guy in the throat and just goes down, like takes him down. And then there's another guy who kind of slams him into a henchman who actually gets a pretty good couple good strikes in, takes him through a towel rack. And then what happens is, when Alfie Allen's character sees him, Alfie Allen takes off and runs away, and that's when you switch over to the EDM. You switch over to the Transylvania song, then you kind of pump into the red circle EDM because it becomes a chase scene. But I just love the red coloring, the blood, Wick on the hunt, Wick killing Wesley, and there's this kind of chill vibe going because he's stalking, he's not chasing. And I love how it transforms from this kind of pool house where, he's going after Alfie Allen, and I love that big dude comes out of the pool and John Wick just foot stomps him. It's like he just stabs him in the shoulder, stomps him in the foot, and kills him.
That's after he runs into Kevin Nash, right?
Yeah. You working? Yeah. Take the night off. Okay.
I love the mutual respect. Every time they give the little respect thing, like, hey, John, hey, you gonna kill people? Yeah. I think that was the part where, no, it was from part 2. They do the same thing in part 2 with Common in him, where he's like, hey, John, you working? Afraid so.
Yeah.
I took that from the sketch because I love that part so much. That part's good. But yeah, that whole club scene is when I started watching the movie, again, I had never known anything about Wick at the time. When that club scene hits, I'm like, oh, this is on another level of action. This is not just, stupid, dumb action movie. This is like artistic raid level action. Okay. Now I know what I'm in for. All right, I got you.
And I think it stands as probably my favorite action centerpiece of the entire franchise. Maybe, I guess, how about this John versus Many action scene?
Yes.
And I love how Kirill gets the better of him. I was watching the behind the scenes video for this, and when he throws Wick out off the balcony, like they do like a match cut where he throws him off, then they had another guy fall from 4 feet down, from 4 feet in the air onto the ground, and you feel the thud. And Wick, Wick gets stabbed in this scene. Wick gets shot twice. His vest blocks it, but he's hurt, and he loses the fight. Wick loses the fight in this.
It's the most vulnerable he's been, I think. I think he gets really hurt in is it 2?
2, yeah, he gets plugged twice in.
But I think I didn't fear for him as much in 2, even in 2, because the mythos had already hit me at that point than I did at this point. I'm like, man, is he gonna make it out of his club alive? Is this the end point of this thing? Is he gonna get captured? In part 1, I didn't know what was gonna happen, but yeah, when he flips him off the balcony, the guy from what's the name of that actor? Because I've seen
Daniel Bernhardt. He's done just a ton of. He was in, he worked with Keanu in the Matrix movies. He was in Nobody. He was the stunt fight coordinator on that.
He got his leg snapped by Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey, I think. He was in the Mortal Kombat TV show back in the day. But yeah, that guy's awesome. But yeah, when he threw him off the balcony, I was like, oh, this is like his better. In my brain, I always go to Raid as like that's the upper echelons of action for me. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is going to be the enemy that he has to. Maybe this is going to be the Donnie Yen kind of guy. Which he continues for a while, but yeah, that I did not think Wick was Wick at that point. I thought Wick was, just self-destructive. I don't care what happens to me at that point.
I just love that song. I immediately found it and listened to it, and I just I love the red. I love when he walks and his head's kind of haloed by the red circle. I just like him on the hunt, and I like how that club. There's a logical progression to that club fight. And I really like that about it. So that's the moment I'm picking from John Wick, because I just love that moment.
Everybody loves John Wick 1, man. I mean, I love all these movies.
But, I'm going to tell you. So real quick before we go on. So my 5 favorite action films since 2010 are The Raid, The Raid 2, The Night Comes for Us, 13 Assassins, and probably Mad Max Fury Road or John Wick.
I'm about to say, where's Fury Road on that?
It's. I don't think my top 4 set. Mad Max Fury Road and a few other movies can alternate in 5.
Right.
But I think that what Wick does great, the first film, is the club scene makes sense. The parking lot fight scene makes sense. When he goes and kills Yosef at the hideout, that makes sense. When he goes in the car chase and he's using the car, that there's all very logical progressions. You know who the henchmen are. It makes sense. In 2, the kind of the club fight, the concert fight, and then the tunnel fight, it's just whack-a-mole. And then when he goes in the museum, it's just whack-a-mole again. And the mirror fight's cool, and it's fine, but I just, my favorite parts of 2, we'll get to it later, are the Cassian brawls. And then 3, I think, have the best moments with the Shinobi and Dacascus, but I think the dogfight is cool, but I had to, like, watch it frame by frame, and the editing's a little wonky. There's several times where you see Wick doing the same actions, so he'll shoot him, go to Holly Berry, and then he's in the background doing what he just did. And so it's a little disjointed. Even though I love the knife fight in the beginning, I love the horse fight, but the motorcycle cycles come exactly from Villainess. And
I saw the side by side. I'm like, damn, this is literally the same shot.
And like, I felt a big Skyfall vibes for the finale finale fight. And so, I mean, listen, Enter the Dragon had the mirrors too. So, I mean, action movies can totally they can totally borrow. But for me, it's all about Wick and the progression of the fight scene. So that's my long breakdown of why I love Wick, the first one, the most.
You know me, I always go into I follow writing first and then action, the other stuff second. So whenever they're doing mythos stuff is when I get a little, I mean, the action, again, is second to damn near none. So I know that's like, I take it almost for granted. So when they do mythos stuff, it's like, man, give me more. I love this stuff. I love the high table and all. I love that stuff when they do the Continental and you talk about the whack-a-mole stuff. Some of the action set pieces can go long. As long as for me, if they're reinventing kills, that's why I brought up the horse kill where they're doing stuff different. I don't mind it as much as everybody else. But whenever they're integrating the Wick mythos and the killing, I love that stuff. That stuff is dope to me.
And listen, the knife fights and you know, in the catacombs he leaves the 3 guns at different areas, so it's good storytelling. It's just repetitive a little bit for me. But yeah, that's
video gamey would be one.
But here's the thing, I love them all. So I'm not, this isn't like me going, ugh. Like, I love these movies. It's just. Yeah, I'll watch. I watch these things frame by frame, and I still love them. So it's yeah. I don't know. So what's your number 2?
Or 4. I'm going up.
4.
Okay, you're going all over the place. All right.
That's me, man.
But you kind of lead right into my number 4 because we're talking about borrowing stuff. My number 4, I don't think a lot of people may have gotten. You probably did. I don't know if I pointed this out to people who were watching the movie. I call it the Wick, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's my number 4. In the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Clint Eastwood's character, Blondie, he abandons Eli Wallach's character, Tuco, in the desert. And then Tuco manages to walk his way out and reaches the town and walks straight into a gun store. And he asks for the 3 best guns in the store. And then he disassembles the 3 best guns. And then he takes the best parts of each gun and makes a new gun out of them. And then he puts it to his ear and he listens to it. He like rotates the cylinder. I say all that to say in John Wick 3, they make an either intentional or unintentional ode to that, where I think it's the first 30 minutes of the third movie, and he runs into a place where they have old guns, and he does the exact same thing, and he makes almost, I'm not a gun expert, but it looks exactly like Tuco's gun. And I'm like, if this is a Good, the Bad, the Ugly reference, this is fucking awesome. Sorry, excuse me. This is freaking awesome.
and it is like, I mean, listen. These are stunt coordinators, and they know fights. They know stunts. So that has to be
If it's unintentional, it's a hell of an unintentional thing. If it's intentional, this makes me get. Either way, I thought it was cool because he even puts the gun to his ear and listens to the cylinder just like Tuco. So I'm like, this is awesome. I love this part. And they kind of play a kind of a westerny kind of part of they play the John Wick score, but it almost sounds like a westerny version of it, where I thought maybe this has to be intentional why they're doing this. Well, you know, he only uses the gun once. I thought he was going to use it a couple times, but I was like, hey, you know what? Any nod to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, one of the greatest westerns ever made. I love that movie. I love the character Tuco, and the fact that John Wick's doing it, I thought that was cool. And this is kind of like this is our example of they borrow something from a classic movie and they just use it, but it's almost like that's the difference between an ode and a ripoff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's totally fine to pay homage to a scene. And a lot of people probably missed it because how many people nowadays know about the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Barely
Actually,
any.
more people need to know about that and the good, the bad, and the weird because I love both of those movies.
It's true.
I actually showed my students the finale and how the editing works in the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how they establish the triangle, and then once they get to their eyes where they're looking, who they're looking at, because they've already established the location of all the characters and how brilliant that is. And it makes me very happy. But that's a great pick. And also too, I like later on that fight scene, Tiger Chen comes in for a quick roll,
Right.
and just gets killed.
Mercs. They have guys come in like we've talked about it before. The Wick guy, the raid guys come in here, the third one, and he's like they don't even give them like nothing. It's just the raid guys. Oh, bye guys, and they come in, they come out, and it's it. Bye. Tiger Chin. Hey, bye. Just passing through.
Hey, what's up? They were probably on set visiting that day, and they're like, "Hey guys."
Yeah.
But I was watching that scene in John Wick 3, and it made me so happy when Sisip and Yayan and Mark Dacascos are just chilling with a cat.
Yeah.
And I was like, my life will never be better watching that scene because it was incredible.
You know the directors, David Leitch. David Leitch did the third one, right? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. I always get him Stahelski mixed up.
Stahelski has done all three.
Leitch done all three, and then Leitch did the first one. Okay, yeah. So Stahelski, David Leitch was probably there anyway, just hanging around. But I know they were just geeking out. Like,
we're with legends right now.
I got the raid guys. You know what? I don't even want them to fight. I just want them to sit there just sit there with a cat chilling.
That's the movie I want. The three of them just making food while various people pull up. And...
like they're gonna do stuff with Yen. They're like, I got Donnie Yen. We're gonna use Donnie Yen. I have faith that they're gonna do stuff with Donnie Yen to the point where Donnie Yen is probably the greatest living martial artist other than probably Jet Li and Jackie Chan. But I don't think Jet Li and Jackie Chan can go still as hard as Donnie Yen goes right now. Jackie Chan, again, legend. But I think Jackie Chan is 69, 70 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Yen can still Jackie Chan probably can beat the crap out of you. But Donnie Yen can action movie beat the crap out of you still. So this is like a living legend. They're going to probably milk as much coolness out of Donnie Yen as they possibly can. Because the trailer for the fourth one is just
Donnie Yen.
It's epic. And it's just Donnie Yen just doing cool things. It's like, oh, Donnie Yen. Oh, he's sitting in church. Oh, he's not. I think he's blind. I don't know. This is cool.
2 years ago, he was just battling Scott Adkins in a movie.
Yeah.
Like he stayed fresh. Just, oh man, I love it. Yeah, he's great. And he's been around for so long, Donnie Yen.
What was the movie where him and the other guy, they improv the knife fight? I can't remember the name of it.
Oh,
but
gosh.
There was a knife fight. They wanted to shoot, but they didn't choreograph it. So he was like, yeah, Donnie was like, yeah, we'll just improv it. And it's one of the coolest knife fights you've ever seen in your life.
Oh,
take him out on the fly.
It's because
you know why?
You know why that's good? Because sometimes I do believe that fights can be overly rehearsed. Mm-hmm. And as much as I was listening to the commentary for John Wick 2 and Heidi Moneymaker. She's a beast, by the way. Yeah, and I love her work in The Hunt. I love Betty Gilpin in The Hunt. And I actually got to saw her work. I keep saying this, but I got to see her work on Cap Civil War Moneymaker, and she's awesome.
But if anybody doesn't know who that is, that's pretty much Black Widow. Every time you see Scarlett Johansson do something cool, it's probably her.
Oh, she's a beast. So what was I saying? But yeah, I mean, it's fresh. It's not overly rehearsed.
Right.
And so, so I'm going to jump to my second moment. It's from John Wick 2, and it's from the museum, Melee, the Whack-A-Mole. And it's very showy-offy. But Wick kills this guy. He takes his Kimber Warrior gun. And then what he does is so awesome. He does this one-handed press check on it.
Yeah.
So he headshots. The beginning of this museum fight starts with him shooting 7 people in 3 seconds. Headshots 7 people in 3 seconds, and then he moves through and just slaughters everybody. But then he kills this guy. He takes the clip and flicks it out, puts another one in, loads it up, and then does the one-hand press check with it. He goes.
Which I'd never seen in a movie before. I know it's probably been done before, but I had never seen that. I was just like, what the? I had to what did he just do? What was that? That was so freaking cool.
And it's clearly showing off, right?
Yeah,
but what I love is Keanu puts so much work. You watch these behind the scenes videos, and he puts an absurd amount of work into these movies. So I had to add this scene because I was watching it and it's just like, yeah, that dude knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows his way around a gun.
His speed loading is wonderful.
Speed loading is dope.
And it's just, but watching that, like you're just like, you're showing off, but you deserve it. You've earned it, Keanu.
And for people who don't know what a press check is, he's essentially checking the chamber of the gun. And usually you do that. You hold the gun in one hand and use your other hand to check it. He's doing it with one hand, which is like, it's very inefficient, but it looks freaking awesome.
Yes,
you're like,
exactly.
why your other hand's free? Just use your, nah, I'm so cool. I don't need my other hand to do that.
That's
so
exactly
awesome.
what it is. There's no other reason. There's no organic reason. It's just Keanu's amazing.
It made me do a double take. I was like, what kind of, what? Oh, and then I watched it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Wait,
so
can you
amazing.
really do that? And then it was two things in guns that I had never seen before. I think it was Sicario 2 where Benicio does the trigger pull, makes a Beretta like an automatic or whatever. I was like, is that even possible? And I Googled it and say, oh yeah, this was possible and very inefficient, but you can do it. And then it was the press check. I was like, what the heck is that? And I saw a gun expert doing it. I was like, this is cool. But I think even he was like, yeah, you can do it. It's stupid. You don't really need to do it. Use your other hand.
But it looks awesome.
It looks all off.
Yeah.
Like the speed loading. His speed loading of a shotgun is freaking amazing.
And when he flicks that clip out of the way, you're just.
They did that in the Nobody too. Odenkirk there's the Uzi and he does the flip of the clip out. I think
he does it. Guys, Bernhardt worked on that. So
yeah, I think it's this. He has an Uzi in his hand and he flips the clip out without taking it out. He just presses release and then tilts the gun. He does the same thing, and I was like, who's behind this movie? And I was like, oh, is it people of John Wick? I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, same crew.
Same guys.
But I just love it, and I had to have it. Like
you want? Okay, I brought this up to my co-hosts, and they were just like, nah, whatever, man. They don't really care. But I want there to be the character from the Nobody run into John Wick. I think they could exist in the same universe because he's not the same as John Wick. He's just like he was like an adjudicator. He's not like he. If you told me they were in the same universe, I think it could work.
Because there's levels to this world, and they're both. I think when you think about the levels of the fight scenes in this movie, they're both on like there's a weird dynamic in the John Wick universe where Wick is not like he's almost not human.
No,
he's on like in this world there's levels, and I think those two are about on the same level. So I would love to see them meet up.
Maybe he needs to get out of town, or he's how John Wick's always trying to find whatchamacallit. And what the heck is his character? I guess it lives up to his name.
Nobody.
What is Odenkirk's character's name in the Nobody? Nobody. I don't even remember.
Oh gosh, I just did an episode about it and I published it and I forgot his name already.
But yeah,
Hutch.
If Hutch and Wick just cross paths, I think it would be, again, please, fingers crossed in the future, awesome, because they're so different. And I think or if Christopher Lloyd's character from that movie,
from RZA,
I think it would just be cool. It'd just be cool just to blend that universe together. They're not in the same realm. It might never happen. I just, I could hope. I think you could write a cool scene with them. As a person who likes writing, you could probably write a really cool scene with John Wick and Hutch, just having a quick conversation. Maybe Hutch is like, oh, I freaking hate this guy. Just something.
Oh, the Baba Yaga.
John Wick, oh, this freaking jerk.
They call him the Baba Yaga, more like the Baba Nada.
just insulting him. Never doesn't take John Wick seriously. It's like, man, whatever, man. You're on the side. You're on the 5th block. I'm on the 6th block. Our paths cross occasionally, but this guy, he's such a big deal. I can see him just being annoyed by him. That'd be great.
I had to clean up 700 people at a club because of him.
John Wick came one day. They called me to clean up a club, and it was covered in blood. And I go, what happened here? He told me John Wick. And because I did such a good job cleaning up, now you never do your job too well. Now I have to always show up. Whenever John Wick destroys something, they call me. It always makes my job harder.
Hey, where's the John Wick cleanup guy?
I'm the John Wick cleanup guy. I'm a family man. I got a family, John. I can't be dealing with this guy.
I'm gonna just drink coffee and do pull-ups.
Will write itself.
It's there. That's it. We better stop going.
Yeah.
Give DJ script writing a story by credit.
Just let me write the scene. Just give me the Hutch John Wick scene. It'll be 2.5 pages. I give it to you by 2:00. Come on.
What's your third scene?
My third scene, speaking of crossing over, I always giggle at the theory out there that John Wick is just a simulation that Neo has been entered into. John Wick 3 lends to that because he says, Winston asks him, "What do you need?" And he says, "Guns, lots of guns."
Yes.
And I was like, that's the line from the Matrix. It's like, if that theory is correct, this is they might have heard it. I think the guys behind John Wick, they listen to the audience. They know what the audience wants.
And they all worked on it anyway.
Yeah, they all were there anyway. The guy was, I think, was it David Lee or is it Stahelski?
Both of them worked on it.
Yeah. One of them was Keanu's stunt double in The Matrix, right? Was it Stahelski?
I think it was Stileski. I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a 50-50 shot.
There's no way they entered that scene in the movie without knowing something about that little Easter eggy thing. It's just a cool little Easter egg. I thought it was awesome, and I love of all the John Wick loading up scenes. There's a really good one in part 2 with Peter Serafinowicz, but I really like the guns, lots of guns, and I was just like, hey! Anything that makes DJ squeal like a little girl in the movie theaters, you're gonna get a little. I love that moment. I love that.
Oh, and I do love that scene with the sommelier, but he's with guns.
See, Peter Serafinowicz is a gangster, so yeah. Once he showed, I'm like, this is gonna be good. Whatever that happens here, this is gonna be awesome.
Lots of guns. So you know what? I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna jump around to piggyback off you. How's that sound? So I'm gonna do this. There's a scene in John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, where Lance Reddick, Charon, uses a Benelli M4 Super 90 during the Continental Shootout with armor-piercing bullets. And I'm a huge Lance Reddick fan. Fringe, The Wire, just the dude is the best. And so I love it, whether he's giving John Wick Blanton's, whether he is watching his dog. Like, I wanted to see him get used in a movie. So when he and his crew get absolutely schnockered in the first gunfight, in the first kind of skirmish between the people who entered the Continental, he comes back in all grumpy. And he hands...
I love that.
Like, he's just grumpy. He hands Wick a shotgun, armor-piercing bullets. And he goes out and he just levels these two guys. Like, blasts through them. He gets to hit a guy in the face. He gets to murder some people. And then he fixes his glasses and he goes back out to fight.
I think the grumpy part of it is the coolest part.
Yeah,
where
right?
He's like mad. Annoyed, like, these freaking guys. Armor-piercing bullets.
They killed our whole crew. Our entire crew. But watching him do that, and then watching he and Wick walk out of the safe together while Ian McShane's being all sassy. And just, for me, I love, like, John Leguizamo, I think, has been kind of wasted in this movie. I think he's amazing, and it's cool he gets the slapping scene, but I'd love to see him do more. And so watching Lance Reddick get his own murder party scene with big-ass shotgun and armor-piercing bullets just makes me very happy. And so, like, I need lots of guns. And then he comes back in and grumpily they get guns. And it's amazing. And listen, just that's what I like about this world. I love the supporting characters. There's a deep bench, a very deep bench.
That's why you can make the series with Ana de Armas and the I think you could do the lore. I really think you could do some stuff with this. And going a little bit back to what I was saying about the Matrix thing, because they have Lawrence Fishburne in here as Bowery King. They kind of showed the guy who was supposed to be head of the high table. I really wanted it to be Carrie-Anne Moss. If it was Carrie-Anne Moss as head of the high table, or God willing, Hugo Weaving, come on.
Hey, wait, where's Joey Pants in all this?
Joey Pants can be there. Throw Joey Pants in there. I don't give a damn. Throw them all. Give me what's his name? The dude Harry Lennox. Get them all in here.
The lady with the red dress.
West. I'll take them all.
Put them all in there. The whole entire
Roy
dance
Jones
party
Jr.
from Zion.
Show up. I don't give a damn.
Like all the Zion dance partiers.
All this. He was already in a club. He could have been all the Zion dance party in there.
Tonight we party. That's. And then the planetary can be our show.
Oh, jeez. Come on. I'll do the planetary all day. I'll write the planetary all day. I'll come to work skipping. I get to write the scripts for the planetary.
The henchman left alive after John Wick 3, just looking very happy.
Power vacuum. John Wick. It literally, right. Again, the Continental series, which they've been working on for God knows how long, and the Ana de Armas ballerina show, which again they've been working on for Gunner. They could touch on these things, but man, with Lance Reddick getting the moment, you're talking about deep bench. You have such cool characters. Like I don't even think what was the name of the girl from the second one? Is it second? No, it was the third one.
Holly Berry?
No. The one that's the bad.
Oh, the
adjudicator,
right?
Yeah.
Asia Kate Dillon.
Are we ever gonna see that character again? Because she's not. It doesn't look like she's in the fourth one. Because she doesn't die. She just does her job and that's it. It's such she could pop up anywhere.
Anywhere.
You have all these characters that can literally come back anywhere. I mean, we're forgetting the fact this franchise started with Willem Dafoe. Mm-hmm. You had such cool dudes in this movie, and the guy from Dragon Tattoo, the first one, God rest him. You had such cool second. Angelica Houston's in this franchise.
Oh man, and
do so much with it.
And listen, Dacascos, I'm a huge, I'm a '90s guy, man. Like I'm 40, so watching him in Only the Strong and Brotherhood of the Wolf and Double Dragon, and I bought Drive because of Aaron Newirth. That's him and Kadeem Harrison. He's a super soldier. I can't wait to watch that. So yeah, just the deep bench of people, and even Friday Night Lights is in it. Like I like her in the first one.
Right. And Barry could come back. You could use the Raid guys again. They lived.
And Common still kicking around.
Common he might have got to a hospital in time. You don't know. It's so the things you could do with the lore in this universe and these characters, and the fact that Keanu Reeves seems to be one of the nicest people in Hollywood who would probably show up on the show just to I'm here, whatever. You showed up at people's weddings. Why not? just unprompted. Why not the spin-off franchise series? Because I'm hearing Pattinson's going to be in the Penguin TV show or whatever. So I could see Keanu showing up for the Ballerina episode 1 or the Continental, whatever with Halle
and the
Berry.
Planetary.
The Planet. Shoot, Keanu, open invitation. Anytime you want to come on set, we got you.
I mean, we owe Wick for killing all the henchmen and leaving a power vacuum that we just randomly took advantage of.
Bob Odenkirk, again, I'm connecting the universe. It's not connected in my head. It is. You come on through. Anybody, Christopher Lloyd, RZA, anybody in this universe, come on through.
Oh my gosh, please. I love, man. When RZA popped up and hearing him on, oh man, Christopher Lloyd,
when Christopher Lloyd, we're talking about the Nobody now, which we think is connected to the John Wick universe, but when Christopher Lloyd showed up, or showed that he was a badass, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic.
I couldn't be happier. And I was really worried that Nobody was going to be falling down too, but then it turned out to be amazing. I was like, yes.
It's like, hey, what if Michael Douglas was John Wick?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah. And he wasn't just some angry kind of nobody. Like he's just a murderer. And
I think they did enough for it to be different than John Wick.
Oh, absolutely.
Just enough to where that's why I think it could exist in the same universe. If I was to ever ask a question of those guys or Keanu or Odenkirk, I'm like, hey man, wouldn't it be cool if you guys combine the universe? Could that ever happen down the line? That'd be the question I asked them, because I think you've got two franchises there. Why not do a little synergy? You know what I'm saying? Do little adventures.
A little bit. Come on now, do it. And we were talking about this on the episode. I'm going to go through it real quick, but Norbert brought up that we love Nobody because he didn't have to do any of that. He went to get the kitty cat bracelet, and he could have gotten off of the bus, but he's like, no, I'm mad. I didn't get to kill somebody, so I'm just gonna do these guys in. So the entire Nobody movie is just based on him he was annoyed, and he just went to kill people.
Middle-age crisis.
Yeah. By a murderer.
What if a murderer had a middle-age? I bet you that's the pitch. What if a murderer, one of the greatest murderers of all time, had a middle-age crisis?
Oh, that's amazing. Oh gosh. All right, so wait, what pick are you on? Your third? Fourth?
I have two more. I got two more.
Oh wow. All right, what's your fourth pick?
Mine is probably the more action-heavy moment of all of my five. It is the subway silent shootout. Of all the cool things in John Wick 2. And there, again, we talked about the mirror fight with Ruby Rose, the tunnel shootout, the pencil murder, where you get to see him actually kill a person with a pencil instead of talk about it. I think the coolest thing is the subway shootout where Common and Keanu are having, and nobody can hear it because they're using silencers. I thought that was so cool. I was like, nobody knows what's going on right now. It was just so inventive. Again, and that's what you want out of these in these franchises. You're gonna put Wick in these situations. Let's invent something cool to do. And I think that was something really cool. It's very brief, and then they get into the rest of their fight, which we talked about with the knife and whatever. But I thought that was interesting to the fact that they have respect, I guess, for the public. They
Yeah.
don't want to even. I want to kill just this guy. I don't care about everybody else. And it kind of goes about it goes into the lore where they talk about there's a world that's happening under our world that we don't even see, that don't even notice. And I'm going to work one day, and there was a guy that was trying to kill another guy, and I didn't even freaking know about it. And they were right next to me, and I didn't even realize it.
And then there's guys that just sit there with guns and then shoot people when Wick's trying to hide, and you just give them a coin. And,
the coin, I have one in my room. But yes,
I love when Wick misses. I love when he misses Alfie Allen in the first one.
right.
I like that. For some reason in this movie, when he goes to shoot, oh gosh, the guy that kind of pulls him back in, his name is when he goes to shoot Santino, he misses him through the glass. When he goes to shoot Alfie Allen, he misses him through the glass. So I like watching Wick miss. I think it's important, and just watch them trying to plug each other silently and missing.
Don't want to OP Wick. I mean, Wick is already super OP, but it's just like when you put him in danger, where like you're talking about when you the club scene, it makes the fight better. It makes the action better. It makes, because he's so OP now, they're like, well, the only way we can make it feel like that is we throw 100 guys at him and head to toe body armor. That's the only way we could do it. Yeah. Because if it was Wick in a bar, you don't even feel that he scared that anything's going to happen to him. It could be a bar full of guys.
That's a great point.
Yeah, if it's Wick versus guys head to toe in body armor, almost bullet resistant body armor, you know what I'm saying? Armor piercing resistant body armor, then you're like, okay, he might get messed up here. But if it's Wick walking, like if it's Wick in a nobody situation, you're like, Wick's gonna tear these guys apart. It's not even.
Just yawn, more henchmen being murdered.
It's the Superman problem. The only way you can, other than that, is to put somebody that Wick loves in danger now. But he's already lost two of those things.
Well, they made up for it by bringing Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen I was like, who could take out John Wick? He beat up the Raid guys to a draw. That was a draw. Who could take him on one-on-one? Well, let's get the best martial artist we can think of right now. Donnie Yen. Okay. Because now I'm watching him like, hey, Keanu, I love you. Wick, you're the guy, a gangster. But that's Donnie Yen, bro. That's DY, man. He ain't playing no game. Have you seen it, man?
Exactly.
Have you seen it, 2 or 3 or 4?
Have you seen Raging Fire? Come on,
John,
man.
Hey, John, have you seen it, man?
Wait, this is
Blade
really
2?
This is really meta.
They had to kill Donnie Yen in Blade 2 off camera to make it make sense.
Yeah, they did.
It was like, look, we can't make him get killed on camera. He would kill the vampire. The vampires would break their teeth on Donnie.
Wait, it's like crystal. It's like diamond. I can't break it.
He's made of sterner stuff. I don't know what's going on here.
You see those fancy vampires running away. Like, no.
They not only did they get Donnie in, they go, he's great. We got him out of even. We'll push him over the edge. Oh, I know, Pennywise the clown. Let's get him in there too.
Vin Diesel from The Last Witch Hunter.
Samurai,
It's like,
we'll
what?
Throw him in there as a cherry on top. We'll just put him in there too.
Like time travel.
Get Silver Samurai in here, Pennywise the clown, and Donnie
And Galactus.
Put Galactus in there. Well, what else we got? Morgan Freeman from Evan Almighty. We'll get him in there too. He's God. We'll get him in there too. maybe, just maybe.
Oh, what about Dan Stevens' character from The Guest?
Oh,
because Lance Reddick.
Oh, no. Lance Reddick. Connection.
Oh man, I just got my wife just bought me the super uber edition of The Guest. It looks like a book. That's how big the edition of.
I was pitching The Guest to somebody. I'm like, I love The Guest. I'm like, why do you like The Guest? I go, it's Halloween if Michael Myers was Jason Bourne.
It's amazing.
That's essentially what The Guest is, and it's freaking amazing.
Great final line.
Dude, the music in that movie.
I bought the soundtrack right after watching it.
Glass. I bought it too. I was like, I gotta get the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing. Soundtrack is fantastic. He could be put him in the Wick universe. Get everybody in there.
Bring Micah in. She can survive everything pretty much.
Yep.
All right, so I think you're gonna like mine. This is with Common again. This is my 4th pick, but it's just when they roll down the stairs for 21 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's just
great fight scene.
And listen, like Cassian's the only one in this movie who's John Wick level. Right. He's the only one that is like. I wouldn't say
Rose couldn't even. I think he deals with her real quick. So
yeah, he barrels through her. So I mean, if Wick is a 10, Cassian's like an 8.7.
Yeah,
does that make sense? And
Yeah.
just he gets a good stab in Wick's leg. But I love the scene where they roll down the stairs because it's funny, and it's just it's not serious. And I love Cassian gets up and throws a flying knee at Wick, and then they
Right.
roll down the stairs again.
I think Cassian is what Wick was before he retired. But Wick wins eventually because of the experience he had. Like he's like the wizened veteran. But technically Cassian filled that power vacuum when Wick retired, where he is the best. But now that Wick is back, he's been knocked down a peg. So that's what the only thing because again, the first fight's a draw, as you're talking about. And the second fight is like Wick wins through guile. You know, it's not like skill. I think Cassian is quintessential Wick at the time. Like if let's say Wick stay retired, you would go get Cassian. Cassian is the guy you get because he does everything. I mean, so yeah, that fight is dirty.
He's Wick. No, he's 8.9. No, 9.1. Because
again, Wick only seems to beat him through because the experience. He is literally he is the Tom Brady of this thing. So he's not
Joe Burrow
versus the rocket arm of a Cassian, but he had I'm gonna send a nickel and dime you down the field, and then I'm gonna score a touchdown and win the Super Bowl. That's how I do it.
Oh man, like he's like Jalen Hurts versus Brady.
Cassian is Jalen Hurts, and Tom Brady is John Wick. That's what it is.
And I just listen, but sometimes you just gotta have fun, and rolling down the stairs is fun. It's just cheeky, and then they wipe out, and then John Wick drinks Blanton's, and Cassian drinks gin, and it's. And you know what I like? Common, man. I don't know. I believe him.
He's scary in that movie.
And I believe him.
Yep.
And I watched him train for this movie, and he does it. He put the work in. And sometimes, I don't know. I think it's when I watch them fight, and they obviously had stunt doubles, but they were in it a lot.
Right.
And I mean,
they had stunt doubles, but I think if I had to put money on it, it's probably 60-40 them.
Exactly.
I would put it. I put a lot of it on. Definitely Keanu. And the thing about Keanu and Tom Cruise, why I like them so much is in terms of filmmaking, is that if you see Keanu, who's probably in his 50s, putting in the work, if you're young or if you're Halle Berry, you're like, you know what, Keanu's putting in the work. I'm gonna put in the work, and the movie just benefits from all that stuff. Where you're like, well, Keanu doesn't have to do this. Tom doesn't have to hang off a plane. If he's doing it, I'm gonna put in the same amount of effort. I'm trying to equal him. I think there was that thing where, again, I'm leaning toward from Keanu to Tom, but in Edge of Tomorrow, where Tom would like push the stunt crew, like if I can get in this suit in 15 minutes, you guys can get it into a 10, and that would make the production go faster. I think Common probably like, look, I saw Keanu at the gun range. She looks dope. I'm gonna have to do something like I can't just be walking on set like la 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 la. I gotta go. Keanu is what is he 50?
Yeah, he's up there. He's way up there,
right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, man, I give him credit. And I again, this is another action scene that I think that leads into the lore, because I again, like the fact that they're on the holy ground of the Continental, every time they do that, every time they lean into that, it makes the action scene better, because like how do you stop this fight? How would this fight actually end? I can't kill Common in the second act. We gotta have Continental. Let's lean into, and then we get that great scene at the bar where it's just like, all right, next time I see you, it's good. Ain't gonna be no holy ground gonna stop me. That stuff I like. Anytime they push into that lore, I'm a fan of. And I think they're pushing more, man. Push into it more.
Yeah, Planetary.
Planetary. Coming soon, season 3.
We're gonna get syndicated. We're gonna make that syndication money. We're going CSI money.
CBS. The old folks network. We're going to CBS, guys.
It's like we just make it the most stock. Like there's a pattern to every episode.
I want to have somebody analyzing hair samples.
Yeah. I'm just
on every episode of every show on CBS. Somebody's analyzing hair samples.
Oh man, Mark Headlock Hoffmeyer is watching this fight between Cassian and Wick, just going, yes, yes.
Kill each other. Carol's
dead.
I reap the rewards.
Willem Dafoe's dead.
What's that meme?
Ruby
John
Rose
Lovitz,
is
the
dead.
wedding singer, where he's like watching what's his name? God, Adam Sandler have a breakdown, and he's just like,
yes,
I benefit. I take. He's the best wedding singer ever. I'm the second best, but now that he's going crazy, I reap the reward.
John Lovitz. Yeah.
John Lovitz.
Oh,
That's you. That's
me.
Mark Hedlock Hoffmeyer.
yes.
Watching from a curtain on the continent, like, yes.
Ruby Rose is dead. Oh, you know how many henchmen he killed
Rose
in New
is
York
dead.
in the third one?
Defoe is dead. Kalicki is dead. The guy from Girl with a Dragon Tattoo is dead.
And then also the other Lester from The Wire is dead.
Lester from The Wire. Halle Berry somewhere in the desert feeding her dogs.
Yeah.
I'm taking all of the reward.
My phone
Oh,
just
my.
blows up, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I hired Martin Blank from Ghost Point Blank. I'll bring DJ Murder Valentine in. Bloody Valentine.
I think Hedlock Hoffmeyer is just like, I think that we're going to watch like a Booster Gold version of this where we look at all the events from 1 to 3 and see that he set up the whole thing. Like, hey, like you walk up to Alfie Allen. Hey, you really like that car? Here's his address.
Yeah, like you just cut a little bit out of like the frame to the left, and I'm standing next to it, like
Sitting right next to you're pumping gas in the other car.
Oh dang, Alfie Allen, look at that car.
Man, I wouldn't take that. I'll just tell you right now. I'm just putting it out there.
I hear that car is worth a lot more than that guy thinks.
Hey, DaCosta. Last I checked, he was in some place overseas with Halle Berry. I mean, good investigate, good not. I don't know.
Hey, I heard Wick doesn't really like his car and wants someone to steal it.
Hey, I heard the last thing his wife gave him before she died was that dog. Might want to, do something about it. Let's put it out there.
That's the entire scene. I just Blofeld it all.
You Machiavelli the whole thing.
It's like, yes. I Scream 3'd it.
The guys are about to take over the Continental. You're like, hey guys, before you go in there, I got this what would you call it? Deal on a head to toe body armor. Might want to put it on. Just try a little something. Let's try a little something. Try something. How they're in your size? Hey, I got ways. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I got people. And I load them all up.
I got people who got people. You know what I'm saying?
That's the entire movie. Like, yes.
Kill them all.
That's like what I led people to believe, but it just turns out I just got really lucky. But that was an entire episode. Fooled you. I just was eating ramen. Oh, brother. All right,
this show writes itself.
Dude, Planetary on CBS, season 6, Lucas Black.
Mark Harmon, get on it. Let's go.
Hey, Fasanelli, he slaps him on the back of the head. Like, that's it. I don't even know if that guy's name is Fasanelli, but I just...
I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to go with it.
All right, so what's your fifth moment here?
My fifth moment. When I first heard about John Wick, I've kind of talked around this too. I think the trailer had dropped maybe 3 weeks before the movie came out, which is weird because I didn't know anything about John Wick. But the trailer dropped because I heard the title, like kind of around a reason around this movie called John Wick, and I'm like, oh, whatever. I kind of wasn't this wasn't the Keanu-sans yet. So I saw the trailer, and the thing that got me on board, where I was like, okay, I want to watch this movie, was the line, which I don't think they've ever topped ever, which is, people keep asking me if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. That, for some reason, I don't know why, made me go, get him, John Wick.
I picked up everybody in the theater.
That got me into the movie. Or I was like, okay, this seems cool. I want to see why he's like, they poke. That is the poke the bear scene where John Wick was probably, in my mind, I'm making the movie up before I watched the movie. Like, he was probably just minding his own business. You guys keep messing with this guy, and now he's like, oh no. Now you poked the bear. I'm gonna kill every last one of you. I'm buying a ticket, and I did.
It's amazing. I love in the second one. I thought you were retired. I'm working on it.
Working on it. See, that's more cheeky, but he is furious in that scene.
He's tied up and just mad.
I think the only line that's ever come close to that is the send them all. No, we said to Winston at the end of the second one, he goes, whoever you send, well, tell them all. I'm gonna kill all of them or something like that. I can't even remember what it was, but I'm thinking I'm back. Even when we made the John Wick sketch on the show, I'm like, well, I gotta somehow work this in. I gotta get the. I'm thinking I'm back. And the sketch we did was we called it Saint Nick instead of John Wick, and it was like Christmas and it was Santa Claus being John Wick, and it was like people keep asking me if I'm coming to town. Yeah, I'm coming to town. So we just try to put that in there because that line is so freaking good.
Oh, it's
I
amazing.
don't think he has a cooler line than that. I do love the one in the new trailer where he goes, "Are you ready, John?" He just goes, "Yeah." That's good too.
Guys,
which he does with
stop.
he does that with the Costa in the third one too, where he goes, "That was a good fight, John, huh?"
No.
He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah. He's like, and I'll be seeing you. No, you won't.
He's very friendly when he says, "Yeah." Keanu's delivery of these one-liners are great. He's like, "That was a good fight, John." He's kind of like, "Yeah." Where it's like, dude, we almost fought to the death, but you're just so polite. Why are you so nice?
I love Zero. Oh man, he's beautiful.
Good.
And
He's a good character, man.
I was thinking about putting Dacascos at number 1, but I'm doing the scene where the shinobi fight with Sissup and Yayan, because just watching them beat him up, put knives with their throat, help him up, and then John Wick's flustered by it. He's like, and then they take his hands, pull him up. Then they beat him up again, and then they give him a break, and he's like, whoa, whoa. He puts his hands out, then he takes off his belt, and then he proceeds to beat him up, and then he lets them live.
That fight, people don't get. I've been with somebody who watched that fight, and they're like, why are they helping him? I'm like, it's the mythos, man. They're fighting the best.
Yeah. And this is the Raid 1 and 2.
If I dunk on Jordan, you know what I'm saying? I don't want him to like be hurt. I want him to get up and try and score on me. You know what I'm saying? I want to test how good I am as a killer. That's that whole scene.
And then, you know, they're speaking in their native tongue, like, you know, Indonesian. And then when he says, what was it, Sampai Jumpa, I guess. Sorry if I butchered that.
Or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, be seeing you again. Like, he says that to them. He sort of speaks their language. And just, you know, watching, listen, Mad Dog and Assassin in the Raid 1 and 2 are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Iko Uwais is my favorite action star on the planet, followed by Scott Adkins. But I love those fights, and watching them fight John Wick in a major
nonchalantly. It's like such a this is an epic moment. This at the current time, when that fight happens, at the current time, John Wick is the badassiest action character fighting two of the greatest martial artists in cinema at the time. It's just like, yeah, let's have a fight for about 10-15 minutes. Let's throw it in there. And then you got a boss battle after that.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes of just glory. And it just makes me so happy. But yeah, man, this was dude, thank you so much for joining me, man. This was awesome.
I can talk about John Wick all day, okay? Or the planetarium. What are we calling it? Planetarium?
The planetary.
Planetary. I keep calling the planetarium like we're going to a museum or something.
Well, there has to be the planetary has a planetarium in it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because, like, you know, it's a hotel with a theme, so it's lovely. And then you're coming back for John Wick 4, so we can talk a lot more about it.
Of course, I'm coming back for John Wick 4. I get to see it early.
Oh, heck yeah, man! I'm watching Ant-Man Monday. I haven't got a screener for. I don't have a press screening set up for John Wick 4 yet, so I might look into that. So we'll have to.
You get a press screening for John Wick 4. Oh, you lucky! You might see it a little bit earlier than me. I get to see it probably a week early, maybe 5 days early. So you're probably going to see it maybe before me.
I hope I can set that up. If not, I'll just go the night before and check it out. Yeah. So, but dude, once again, listen to the Batman. Listen to the Batman commentary. We had a great time doing that. Check out all the skits. Listen to Happy Superman. And
Happy Superman. Let's call him Hopeful Superman.
Hopeful Superman. And this was lovely, man. Thank you so much for joining me.
I appreciate it, Mark. Anytime.
This is awesome. Hey, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for DJ Valentine, this is Movies, Tons of Flicks. We'll see you next week.